Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my most humble salutations at the divine lotus feet of my beloved Master, Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. In this episode, I share how our recognition of our Guru, Sri Satya Sai Baba's divinity deepened and how reverence slowly transformed into adoration, devotion, and finally complete surrender to Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, our Lord, our God, and our everything. Balvika's classes had been going on regularly since November 1977. Slowly, my parents also began getting involved in other Sai activities. My father was deeply drawn to Swami's message of Seva. He immersed himself in service activities such as village adoption, organizing medical camps in rural areas, assisting in blood donation camps, and many other forms of Seva. My mother, on the other hand, remained busy with her Balvika's classes, bhajans, and Narayan Sevas, that is, feeding the needy and the poor. This continued for the next 3 to 4 years. My mother's health, however, remained fragile. Still, these activities kept her happy and life moved on. In mid of 1981, her health suddenly deteriorated and she had to be taken to a senior cardiologist for consultation. After examination, it was found that her heart condition had worsened significantly and her chances of survival were bleak, only a few months, unless she underwent another surgery. My mother was unwilling to go through surgery again after her earlier failed experience. The cardiologist was a kind elderly gentleman who knew our family. He gently but firmly explained that medical technology had advanced since her first surgery and that this operation would greatly help her. He reminded her of her responsibility to look after her young children and to continue her seva activities. With no other choice left, she finally agreed. This was in October of 1981 and the surgery was scheduled for April 1982 after our school examinations. When my parents returned home after the consultation, my mother called me aside. She looked at me and said softly, "You pray to Swami." Her faith was unwavering. She believed that if I prayed to Swami, he would listen and she would be well without surgery. I loved my mother deeply. I was a quiet and reserved child and didn't have many friends. My parents were my entire world. So, when she said this to me, I knew she meant every word. From that very day, every morning and evening, I stood before our altar and pleaded to the picture of our young Swami in his yellow robe. I would cry and say, "I don't know what you will do, but I need my mother. You have to save her." Meanwhile, my mother was diligently taking her medications and preparing herself physically for surgery. She was doing her part, and I was doing exactly what she had asked me to do. Every morning, my father would wake up early, get us ready for school, prepare our breakfast, and send us off, ensuring my mother did not exert herself before the surgery. This continued until the end of January 1982. Then, one early morning in February, something changed. My mother was up early, actively moving around the kitchen, preparing food for us. She looked radiant, happy, energetic, and cheerful. My father was astonished. When he asked her how she was feeling, she excitedly shared a dream she had seen that very morning. She said, "I was in a large hall, something like Brindavan ashram. Swami was giving darshan. When he came to the lady's side, he suddenly changed direction and came straight to me. I saw him perform surgery on me. He opened my chest and repaired something in my heart. His gloved hands were full of blood. Then he closed my heart with a cross like an X, tapped my head, showered vibhuti and walked away. I am completely fine now. From today, I am stopping all medicines and will take only vibhuti water." We were all stunned, speechless, yet overwhelmed with joy. My father respected her faith, but being practical, he suggested one final medical checkup. They went back to the cardiologist, who was surprised by their sudden visit. He was, however, pleased to see my mother looking cheerful and healthy. Without being told about the dream, he agreed to examine her again. He personally conducted the ECG. As he looked at the reports, he was completely baffled. He pulled out the earlier reports, rechecked his own diagnosis, and was utterly shocked. Her heart was functioning normally. There was no need for surgery at all. He struck off almost all medications on her chart, just as Swami had crossed her heart in the dream, and advised her to take only one medicine with a review once in a year or two if needed. Upon asking her what had transpired in the past months and listening to my mother's experience, the doctor applauded my mother's faith in her Guru. My parents returned home immensely grateful to Bhagavan and much to the joy and relief of my brother and me. My mother's faith had triumphed. Swami's grace poured abundantly upon our family. My prayers had been answered. That moment planted an unshakable seed of faith and devotion in my young heart. That was the aha moment for our family, when Sri Satya Sai Baba, our Guru, became our Bhagavan, our Lord, our dearest Swami. From that day onwards, he became everything to us, our Guru, our guide, our God, and the head of our family. Koti pranams at his divine lotus feet. Offering the 5th episode of Premaarpanam, my journey from Sai to Sai at the divine lotus feet. Jai Sai Ram.